can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. Now, if you and I believe we can fly, then who are we, you and I, to say we cannot fly? Whether we're 28, or let's turn that around, 82, and going on a new venture. The important thing, in my opinion, is that we fly and continue to fly. Now, the definition of flying will not be the same. Matter of fact, I don't expect the methods of flying to be identical. But that's not important. Fly anyway and continue to fly. Now, that brings me to my 97-year-old mother. I can't leave her out of this at all. Now, she is a woman whom I've always felt was pretty well satisfied with what she had. And she was very, very, very grateful. And I'll tell you something, if she got more than what she expected, if she received more than what she thought was coming, you couldn't find a more grateful person or a more graceful person. And I can recall her saying something like this. You see, we didn't have very much. And she would say, well, my. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. What do you mean, Mom? Brought the sun and the flowers where it used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. But now, she'd say, look what today brought. And I would say, Mom, but how did you know? I didn't know, child. But I'll tell you what I do know. That if we hang on just a little while longer, the sun will eventually come out. Because it always does. It always does. Now let me tell you a little something else about this 97-year-old woman that I call my mom. She resides in Northwood Manor, which in my opinion is like a little mini city. Very stimulating environment. So I go up there and see her one afternoon. I'm coming through the corridor. I hear all this music. And she's just a rocking in her chair. Just a rocking in her comfortable chair. And singing and dancing in the chair. Now, in 2018, I refer to her, to myself, mind you, as Mrs. Up and At It without getting up. You understand what I'm saying? So she's rocking and singing, the music's up, and I come in the room and I said, Mom, when did you start listening to and dancing to country and Western music? She looked at me, got up out of the chair, turned the music down, looked at me again, and said, a change is as good as a rest. I said, oh, aren't you right? Country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Country mama, take me home. That was the song that was playing. She was just a rockin'. Now, she ain't from West Virginia. She's just from up the road, Hammonds Plains. Not far at all. But what I want to tell you is that after that, I started changing my route when I'm going places. I started sitting in different pews in the church. You know how we all go and sit in the same spot. And I started learning new songs and dance steps at the same time. I was the one who told the director, the person who was directing the best little whorehouse in Texas at the Neptune Theater, that I can't sing and dance at the same time. But guess what? That wasn't even the truth. I was singing and dancing at the same time. Although they put me in the back row, but it don't matter. It don't matter. What matters is the fact that I was singing and dancing and thought I couldn't sing and dance at the same time. Now, speaking of taking different directions to go places, see, I was one of those people who had this habit of saying, no, I can't, I don't know how to get there. Linda, how do you get, don't ask me, I'm not the one to ask, I couldn't help you. Now, that means I was probably lost just once. And what did I do? I kept telling myself that I can't find my way nowhere. It's not even true. I go everywhere now, by car, by foot. I take all these different buses, and I get to where I'm going. So, kind of doesn't that mean that perhaps we should be, a little bit more careful of the messages we keep sending in here? Because half the time, then, it's not the truth. We keep lying to ourselves out of habit. While I was a citizenship judge, I was asked to take French, which I like a lot. But here's what I discovered, and it just freaked me out. Every time I came back from my French lesson, no, I'll tell you what was happening before the French lesson. Before I went to the French lesson, I'm on the computer in my office, and I'm like this. After I came back from my French lesson, my speed increased. I'm like this. And I said, what's going on here? Something wonderful was happening with the brain. And that was a real good eye-opener for me to make sure that I continue to learn new things. Because I can't think of any reason why I should not. And you know that old saying, you can't teach an old dog a new trick? That's not even the truth. Look at me. It's a lie. Some of you may know that I really, really like to sing. I really do. It makes me feel good all over, from my head to my toes. Matter of fact, Woody Woods from Las Vegas, who used to be the musical director of the Nova Scotia Mass Choir, he said to us, he said, if you can talk, you can sing. He just didn't say how well. But it don't matter. Sing anyway, if it makes you feel good. That's the point I'm trying to bring out here today. But let me ask you a question. And don't raise your hand or anything, because I don't need to know. I'm just throwing the question out. Are you aging as well as you want to be? And if you're not, why not? And the other question I want to leave with you is, have you already visualized what aging looks like, aging well looks like for you? It's not going to be the same for me, I can tell you that, because we're not the same. And we don't have to age the same. Going back to singing, that's something that I really like to do. And I remember Sarah Vaughan. Y'all remember Sarah Vaughan out there? Anybody? Boy, we have a nice, diverse group of people here, I'll tell you, as far as age is concerned. I think it's wonderful. And a number of other things. She said, here's what she said, and it really stuck with me. She said, when I sing, if I have troubles sitting on my shoulder, I don't even notice. And that's how I feel about singing. And we don't have to sing well. But the important thing, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, who am I, is that we're doing the things that give us joy, whatever that may be. And when I say to you, I believe I can fly, I'm talking to me. I am actually talking to me, however way that flying looks like. And it's not going to look the same for me, and it's not going to look the same for you. But what I want to say to you right at this time, to come to a conclusion, is that not only do I believe that we can fly, I think I've been around the bend enough times now to know that we can fly. I really do believe that. And that flying, like I said, is whichever way you see it. So let me end just by saying, I know we can fly. I know we can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread our wings and fly away. I believe we can soar. See us running through the open door. I believe we can fly. I believe that with all my heart. Thank you so very much.